The shadiest things about One Direction exposed. It's hard to believe that One Direction made their debut on the X Factor UK back in 2010 when they finished in 3rd place. One Direction's first 5 members, Harry Styles, Zayn Malik, Niall Horan, Louis Tomlinson, and Liam Payne, quickly rose to fame when the band went on to become one of the most popular in the world. They are now known around the globe. Pop hits, documentaries about their rise to fame, close friendships with each other, dreamy model-like appearances, British or Irish accents that could make anyone in their right mind swoon, and even their very own doves. Yes, I know it all sounds too good to be true, but it really is. Directioners flocked to 1D like never before, but despite the group's global fame and fandom, there were plenty of red flags and scandals their meteoric rise to stardom and success, and it's hard to ignore that. When a member of the group resigned, the majority of the behind-the-scenes drama came into light. After that, One Direction went on a long-term break. It was only after looking back at the lad's meteoric rise to fame and subsequent breakups that we realized just how shady 1D was. As a die-hard Directioner, you have probably spent a lot of time at Modest management ranting about how much you despise the boys' former team. As many times as we can count our fingers, you have tweeted, 1D deserved better than Modest. But just in case, allow us to explain. In the past, Modest has been accused of mistreating their 1D boys and putting an enormous amount of stress and work on the band. However, former member Zayn Malik later got candid in his memoir about the stress, anxiety, and eating disorder he dealt with during his time in 1D. The band had 2 weeks to write albums on the road because management had already sold tickets for the next tour, according to Liam Payne, who spoke with This Morning in 2019. It goes without saying that the guys were under a tremendous amount of stress as a result of this. A look at the reasons why fans don't like Modest, this Tractify pointed out a few other instances in which some of the guys publicly hinted at the personal strain they endured while playing in 1D. Only Niall Horan has continued to work with the firm, and he has even backed the management firm by launching his own golf management firm under their auspices. Putting the 5 boys together on the X Factor UK stage meant that they had to quickly learn about each other's personalities and figure out how to work together, as one might expect. There was an air of camaraderie between the two groups of British lads from the outside looking in. The One Direction boys' relationships weren't all that great, it turns out. Liam Payne opened up about his personal life in an interview with Hits Radio in 2019. Because Louis Tomlinson was the oldest and I'd been singing for a long time, it felt like we were both put in an awkward positions when we were in the band. The goal was to take the lead, while mine was to do what I wanted to. We didn't get along at all at first. It was hilarious how much we resented each other. In the band's heyday, each member had his or her own distinct look. These fights and unresolved issues has had an effect on their ability to plan their outfits. A radio interview with Payne referred to Tomo as proper diva because of his striped shirt and suspenders attire. When Payne tried to wear stripes, Tomlinson slapped him across the face and called him out on it. When Zayn Malik left One Direction, we first noticed a rift in the band's facade. Malik has been vocal about his dissatisfactions with the bands ever since he left. According to his comments to British Folk, it's only recently that I've been able to look back on it and say that it was an amazing experience. As a result of all of the other shit that was going on, I remember thinking back to the performances at the end, when we were in stadiums. I wasn't really able to enjoy the experience. The machine had sped up too much. When you are a teenager, it's understandable to feel a bit of a shift in perspective. When asked about his relationship with the boys, Malik admitted to Billboard that they were not so strong, despite what the media had previously reported. In a separate interview with Vader, he also said that 1D's pop music wasn't his favorite. You want more? My vision didn't necessarily always go with what's going on with the band, Malik said in an interview with GQ. We are looking at Malik, the X Factor UK's bootcamp cold feet, in a whole light after all of this Monday morning quarterbacking of his own career. His disdain for songs like What Makes You Beautiful, Kiss You, and One Thing can be seen in his Twitter spats with former bandmates and in his dissing of their music. If you enjoyed viewing the show, we would appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to it by clicking the button labeled subscribe. Make sure the notification button is activated so that you are kept abreast of all of the newest videos that we upload.